say words that make Jesus cry.
Well, howdy ho. We're out to the pasture today. Take down some fence. The way that we're farming, you don't need all this gosh dang 4-strand barbed wire fencing. Serves a purpose for a particular kind of farming, but we are doing temporary fencing, rotational grazing. We don't want one big permanent setup. Also, one big permanent setup limits you on the space that you can use. I mean, if we wanted to, we could move these happy little sheep right up into our yard. There's nothing stopping us from doing that. No law, no rule says you can't graze animals right in your own yard. So if we wanted to, we could sure as heck do it. But what I want to do is I want to clear this fence. So that's what we're looking at, clearing that little fence there. So we'll worry about the posts later. Right now they're good for the sheep. The sheep like to rub on them, helps them shed their winter coat. And I think a couple of them are still working on that slightly. I'm gonna get to clipping and untying and then rolling this wire, and that's gonna give me almost double the width of pasture space that I have to use. And there's not a lot of good, palatable, edible grass here. Some of it's brown, a lot of it is brown, but there is a little bit of good green stuff. And you know, the thing is, if I let the sheep do this job, then I don't have to get back here and mow. And I could potentially even run the fence right up to this. And then they're not going to get through there. And then they've got a solid wall here. And then I could just run that other strand of fence right out to this corner. And then what I might do is I might turn this into grazing area for them as well. And then I don't have to mow this either. First task, get rid of this barbed wire fence. Let's get at it. Okay, watch out when you're cutting barbed wire fence that you're not in line with where it can swing back and smack it. That, I'll be fine, but that didn't feel great. I don't believe it, but the sheep ate the thistles, at least the leaves. Looks like they ate some of the flowers too. They really like those things, I guess. I didn't think they would, but all the thistles in their area have been eaten up the stem a bit. So I didn't think sheep ate thistles. Looks like they do, after all. Coffee break. I've been over here trying to trim, and in one 20-foot section I found, not once, not just twice, 3 separate times I wrapped the electric wire up around that trimmer. And that's not the first time this has happened. That's happened out there, it's happened down there. Seems like every time I go out here to trim, anywhere near fences, I'm wrapping wire up around that trimmer, making me say words that make Jesus cry. Hopefully that's the end of it. I think I'm done. I don't want to go another 2 feet. I don't want to hit another strand of wire, so. Woo! That's slick. Yikes. Got a slick rock down there. Yeah, I said it. Did not abide by my word. I said I wasn't gonna go another 2 feet. Guess what I did? Another 2 feet. I kid you not. I find more wire. I think somebody's playing a trick on me. I think they're like, today, Brandon's gonna find all the wire. Why the heck did they need so many strands of electric wire on this one side. What, did they have a rhinoceros they were keeping out here? We've been here almost 2 months, and I'm just trying to get this stuff mowed down, give my sheep some pasture. We got the sheep because it's all overgrown like this. When we got here, it was pretty much this way. And rather than get a bush hog, I thought, you know what? Why don't we turn it into food? Let's get some sheep. We want some meat anyway. So we have sheep a lot sooner than I thought we were gonna get them. And honestly, I wasn't even planning on the sheep this year. Chickens, quail, maybe some rabbits, and then definitely some pigs by the end of the year. So there's 4 animals that we had plans for. Sheep weren't part of it. You have to adapt and overcome. I saw all of this. I knew out here especially, very rocky, very uneven terrain. I was not gonna be taking anything out here other than that push trimmer, walk behind trimmer. So we've been trying to tame the land a little bit, clear it. There's not a lot to clear, obviously. You know, it's not like we're breaking raw land. What we want to do though is we want to work with the land as much as possible. So it's going to grow up like this, and then eventually it'll turn to briars, and then finally it would turn back into woods if nobody touched it for the next 100 years. It would just do that all on its own, probably sooner than that. Because we want to take and work with the land to remain prairie land, to remain what it is right now. And so that's why we got the sheep, because a ruminant will maintain the land. And you know, when we get the pigs, they're gonna eat everything that the sheep don't want to eat. They'll eat all the thistles, the noxious weeds. That's what we're doing out here, trying to work with the land, be what it's supposed to be, not trying to bend the land to our will, but work with the land and what it's going to do to produce for us what we need from it. Our plan with the sheep, by the way, is we will be butchering 3 or 4 of the males. We have a wether. Katahdins, we've got 4 males. So 5 males and 9 ewes. We'll be keeping probably at least 5 or 6 of the best ewes, and we'll be butchering, of course, the wether, and then probably maybe 3 of the other males. Trying to decide if I want to keep 2 around for breeding or just 1, but there are definitely 2 bucks there that have horns, and we don't want to introduce that into our herd, so we're going to be butchering them for sure. And I think we'll probably be keeping a white and a brown buck who we've named Fred and Brownie. I would definitely want to keep Fred. He looks like a pretty strong, strapping specimen, and he's very friendly, so I like that. Brownie's also very friendly, not quite as bold. Fred is definitely the bold one, and if there was a leader of the flock, he's definitely an alpha male. So we'll keep him around in our flock, and friendly, strong, bold, brave little sheep, yeah, we'll keep those around. We've had a small invasion of tiny critters. Keeps trying to jump out. These little guys, oh, there he went. I don't know if you saw him, but just a little tiny dinky toad.